like I think many others would have been, very first interactions on fundraising was with Nag. And I have very, very fond memories of the Wednesday meetings. I think there are so many adjectives and qualities when it comes to, describing a person like Nag. But what comes to me is the fact that when there was nothing, he created something really big for IIT Madras. And that's something that I can, I feel I'm so proud that I had an opportunity to be a small part of that journey along with Nag. And it gives us great pleasure today to have you here, Professor Nag, to join us in this very special event. Welcome you and welcome Usha. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm going to now hand it over to Krishnan, the ex-president of IITMAA, who's going to conduct today's program for us.
Yeah, thanks, Shamla. Hello, Professor Nag and Usha. So, I know you've been used to many, many farewells by now. So at IITMAA, we thought we will do something slightly different. And so we wanted to get to know the real Nag.
I don't know that you would want to, but anyway.
Yeah, and so we're going to do a little bit of a quiz, and I encourage all the alumni to participate in this by putting maybe the answers on this thing. Okay, so we will get to know Nag better. We'll start with his favorite food and restaurant. And it's not Tair Sadam.
My nickname at IIT, before somebody springs it on all of you guys, was Sambar. And that's not my favorite food either. I probably stole somebody's thunder, but
Any guesses? Sorry, Nishani, if you're seeing it, are there guesses coming?
Yeah. Girish Mukai says dosa from Sangeeta. And then Shankar said Scream Center. Any other guesses? I don't think.
I think you'll have to go global, guys.
You have to know where I went.
Nag is not at least in favorite food is not a Chennai boy.
Pizza.
That's right.
Oh, there is this famous pizza place in New Haven, right? Is that it?
That's the one. Yeah, there is Naples Pizzeria.
Except this is not the famous one. Pepe's and Sally's are the famous ones, but Naples used to be the students' favorite. It was right close to the Yale campus. You could get like a slice for 70 cents or 60 cents or something back in those days. So I subsisted on pizza for lunch and pizza for dinner for 5 years at Yale. I refused to cook. And, I remember the first day I was at Yale, a senior student told me to try pizza. He said, if you like it, you can stay here. Otherwise, you have to go back, because I was a vegetarian. And back then, there were not too many veg options. Anyway, I tried it. I loved it. So I stuck with it ever since.
So the bottom line is the secret of your health is pizza.
So when I completed my PhD, I was thin, but my cholesterol level was very, very high. So I should thank Usha for bringing it back down afterwards.
Okay, so that was favorite food and restaurant. Favorite movie? Any guesses?
Okay, this one is local.
It's any guesses? Please do it in the chat. Thank you.
It's the only movie I've seen 4 times in a theater back in Manargudi. So
Nalamdana Nag.
You are right. That's the right reference.
So that's Tilana Mohanambal. Okay, good. Okay, then the favorite place. Okay, there are places. So so all this, of course, thanks to Usha and others who provided with these answers and photographs. So there are 2 favorite places coming up.
Yeah, Sam got it. For one of them is certainly Manargudi.
That's right.
Birthplace. IITAR office. Jitin was the first student secretary, and he only associates me with the IITAR office. But yeah,
but it is good that you have some liking to roasting Nag.
Not coffee roasting, definitely.
Okay, so this is favorite place. Now, of course, we can't let go without getting to know some of his illustrious publications. And so, any guesses? Very impactful publications that Nag has had. Don't go down the chemical engineering path or.
Mills and Boone.
That's right.
Detective story.
That's right. So Mills and Boone, and he's also written the Ode to a Mosquito Exterminator Extraordinaire, right? And delightful poems that I was able to read. So anyway, so that was getting to know Nag a little bit better. Thank you, Professor Nag. It was wonderful interacting with you all these years. First as an alum, I kind of connected with you, and you always gave time. Then, of course, as when I became president, you very readily joined the Thought Leadership Council and contributed significantly to that. And of course, the last interaction that I had a lot of fun was, the Heritage Center,
Oh, yes.
which you anchored and built so nicely. And you and Professor Mahesh, of course, were kind enough to give some space within that for the IITMAA shop.
Oh, yes.
And so we are very thankful. And so it's wonderful knowing you. The best wishes to you and family.
Thanks, Krishnan. By the way, this T-shirt is from the IIT Madras gift shop in Heritage Center. So if anybody wants, you know where to go.
Great.
That's our new stock. We'll put the buying link on the chat later.
Nishani,
Thank you. Yes.
back to you.
Yes,
Please.
thank you, Krishnan. Thank you for that. It was good fun. I think we had a lot of nice comments come in as well. We had Rava Dosa from the mess, which is there, and
Good
favorite
guess.
place, saying INAR office. So it's good fun. Thank you so much. Just going to call upon the next person. I invite Dr. Parasuram Bala to please say a few words.
Hi, Bala.
Thank you, Nishani. Hello.
Hey.
Friends, it's a great honor to be here. Join every one of you in wishing Professor Nag very best. I have had enormous interactions with him over a long period of time. In fact, from 2008 onwards. Our first interaction was the Pan IIT meet that he organized. And we started our journey from there. I remember that I was part of the group that collaborated on the topic of industry-academia collaboration.
Yes.
That's common for both of us, Professor Nag and myself, because both of us, after doing our PhD in US, we have spent quite a bit of time in the industry. And of course, Professor Nag came back and joined IIT after his industry experience in US, whereas I have mostly stuck to industry in India. So there is a lot of commonality for us, and we shared all our knowledge and experience at that time in that conference. Subsequently, almost every year, there was one event or the other organized by Nag. For example, I remember the incubator entrepreneur meet we had in Bangalore, which was spearheaded by Nag. It was one of the early ones where we talked about IITians becoming entrepreneurs and walking that path. Similarly, the Young Faculty Recognition Award that we had set up from 2005-06, Professor Nag has played a key role in ensuring that that program takes off and is a big success. For a period of 15 years, he has guided the program, given me sufficient inputs so that we can fine-tune and make it work. Similarly, later on, when there were convocation and Institute Day prizes awarded to the students, he alerted me well in advance so that I could also join and do my little bit to support them. During the period about 2009 to for about 10 years, informally, I was heading the group in Bangalore, organizing the alumni get-togethers. And those days, I depended on Professor Nag enormously. There were many, many things where we would freely interact, and I would take his suggestions and had the pleasure of inviting him, the institute directors. And so we have interacted over a period of time and done many things together. Of course, in the last 3 years, both of us were in the Thought Leadership Council, and we had a chance to, again, contribute to the betterment of the institute and the faculty and the ecosystem in general. We all have aspired to be giving back to the institute in one way or the other. I can say Professor Nag has had the ringside seat in this. He has contributed as an alumnus, as a faculty, as an administrator, and reaching out to the corporates. So in every possible way, he has played a big role in bonding the institute with every type of stakeholder that we can think of. So I think we all owe him a big gratitude for the roles that he has played and so effectively. So will you please join me to express our appreciation to him?
I think everybody silent hand clap. I think everybody's muted.
Okay. Then beyond all this, I want to share two very, very remarkable traits of Nag. That is his hallmark, humility and tremendous amount of focus. Anything that he wants to do, there is no halfway about it. It is 150% commitment from A to Z. He will take it, run with the ball, and ensure that it succeeds. And in the process, the reason why he succeeded, in my opinion, is his humility. There is no I anywhere in any of his activities. It's always we. And so once again, that I would say is a tremendous characteristic of Professor Nag. And as we all know, his lasting legacy at the Institute will be the Heritage Center. It will be there to remind every one of us what all he has done for us, and remember not only what his contributions are, but what all others' contribution to the Institute as well. So I'm sorry, I did not join the roasting team, and I have seemed to be the toasting team person, but I'm speaking from the heart. So Nag, wishing you the very best and praying for your good health and longevity. You and the family deserve the very best in coming years. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Bala.
Thank you, Dr. Bala. That was very sweet of you, and it's very insightful for new people like us to listen to all the remarks that you have made. I now invite Mr. Malik Pucha to please say a few words. I just want to, let everybody know to be extremely brief so that we can get in more people to say a few words, or otherwise we might go out of time. Thank you.
Okay, I got good morning or good evening, Nag.
Hey, Malik.
I introduced you in September of 2004 along with Subha, with the IITMAA members in Houston. We got established in 1980 and Subha joined later. And we were associated with various visits of Nag, Dr. Anant, Bhaskar, and Kaviraj. We missed Mahesh last year. Nag, during his time as the officer in charge, Dean, Alumni, and Relations, has supported us immensely with Anant and Bhaskar with the following outreach activities: Rice University Academic and Research Collaborations on September 28, 2010, and multiple visits with the Mehta Foundation for the establishment of the School of Biosciences. Personally, he helped me immensely to establish Professor Sampath Endowment Chair along with Inakshi Bhattacharya, Bhaskar, and others on July 22nd, July 22nd, 2011. And along with Suresh Krishnan, he helped me to arrange a Professor Sampath's distinguished lecture by late Sidney Burress, former Dean of Rice University, for a week and all that. And we were able to establish endowment chair on the Alumni Day on July 22nd, 2016. And so talking of reunions, Bhaskar and Nag came to Chicago on May 23rd, 2015 to celebrate our first two batches Golden Jubilee with about 35 members of the alumni and spouses. And KV, I saw him over there, helped us out. I have to mention about a funny incident after the workshop and dinner at Rice University. Subha, Bhaskar, and Nag got stuck in the Houston Memorial floods and on the way to their hotel, and then barely made it to their flight next day. Nag, I have to tease you. You still have a pending action item due. Help me with the current powers to be to get us the design and feasibility of the Diamond Jubilee Alumni Monument at NAC area as you suggested.
The ball is
from IIT Madras with 60,000 plus alumni. I don't know the exact count. Wish you, Busha, Amrut, and Bonnie all the best, and may God bless you in every way. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Malik.
Thank you, Mr. Malik. That was wonderful. Thank you. And there was a slight roast there. I hope you figure it out.
Well, actually, turns out the ball is in Malik's court, so he knows the next action. But anyway, that's okay.
Okay, right. Coming up next, I'm going to request Professor Nag's cousin, Mr. Raju, to please come on, and hopefully we can roast Professor Nag a bit from the family side.
Thank you, Papia and Nishani, for inviting me to this event. I guess this is the only way I can attend an IIT meet, so I'm grateful. I'm really looking forward to the opportunity of casually but truthfully slipping into conversations next week. Last Wednesday, I was at an IIT alumni meet, so thank you for that opportunity. I don't know much about the academic and professional achievements of Nagarajan, except what he has told me himself, which you will agree is not a very objective source. But I'm very proud and happy to hear so many good things said about him. So I'll just share a few things that I, in no particular order, and I'm doing so purely in my capacity as a person who spent a lot of time with him in his formative years, given our common interest in cricket, PG Woodhouse, Mad Magazine, and watching dirty movies, such as were available in those scarce and desperate times. The first thing that I should tell you about him is we call him Nagin. He's not Nagarajan for the family, he is Nagin. Some of you who may know, Nagin is a mythological female venomous snake. When one of our relatives named him so, some of us technically objected. There is insufficient evidence of this child being female or venomous or a snake. The relative persisted. Be that as it may, we shall call him Nagin. And Nagin he has been to us ever since. Opinion is divided on when exactly Nagin was born. Archaeologists studying some stone inscriptions that they unearthed in Manargudi, his birthplace, claim that his year of birth was 1959. But some scientists who rely on more scientific material, such as palm leaves, correct this impression. They say 1959 was actually his time of birth because he was born at 7:59 p.m. and his actual year of birth was 1960. I wanted to check the family archives, but I didn't have the time. But I distinctly remember when Nagin was 6 months old and had just completed reading his 17th or was it 18th Agatha Christie mystery, that our grandfather realized that it was high time that he started learning the alphabet. And he admitted him in a school called Ganapati Villas close by. Now, obviously, the school had to predate his date of birth by 4 years, and that gave him his third date of birth. So, in all this confusion, while I know that he was born after me, I'm not clear if he's younger or older than me. But don't conclude that Nagin was a nerdy guy, confined to reading, and studying. Not so. He had other interests as well. 97% of scientists agree that genetics plays a key part in shaping sports persons. And Nagin was blessed in that department. His dad was a very keen sportsman, having represented Madras University in different activities, basketball, athletics. Unfortunately, in Nagin's case, genetics did not help much. And I doubt if he can outrun his dad even today. His dad is 92 years old, by the way, his dad and my uncle. But there was one activity which Nagin excelled in. And had it been an event in the Olympics, Nagin would have won the gold medal by far. And that activity was peeling oranges. Now, this orange is a generic name. I should tell you that what we refer to as orange in these parts is the sweet lime or the satakudi or the masumbi. Now, those of you, the knowledgeable among you, especially those with JEE rank 1 to 499, will know that it's a tough fruit to peel. Easier to crack the JEE, I guess. So, Nagin, the fruit has 3 different layers. One greenish yellow outer layer, then there's a thick white skin underneath that, and then there is a thin skin. For Nagin, peeling the orange was just not an ordinary act, just like that. It was a sacred act. It was like akin to making tender and passionate love to that fruit. He would hold the object in his hand while his eyes did a 3D scan of the whole fruit, his brain processing and analyzing 148 different vital parameters, and his ears ever alert to the sound of his cousins moving in to grab a slice of that fruit. And then he would start peeling that fruit little by little, centimeter by centimeter, till that outer layer came off. And once he was satisfied that there was no greenish tinge at all, he would get into that white skin. He would start undressing it very, very carefully and slowly. Eventually, he'll get to the fleshy part, remove the seeds one at a time, never 2 or 3. It was always 1 seed at a time, and consume it, while his cousins used to crowd around him, begging him to share a part of that fruit. But no, sir, he would not. But he was a master. He was a true master of that craft. He's already mentioned to you. I don't know much about his academic achievements in IIT. I don't know his GPA rating, but his crowning achievement, according to what he told me, was his activism in the first few weeks after joining IIT in getting the sambar included in the hostel menu. I think it was fondly referred to as the Manargudi sambar, and it was available on Saturdays. So I guess the best tribute that IIT Madras can pay Nagin is to reinstate that sambar in the hostel menu in case it has been removed. So here's wishing Nagin a very happy retired life. He's a very gifted writer, so he'll have a lot of time on his hands. So I would strongly suggest that he should write an autobiography. And may I suggest a few titles? for that autobiography. First, you only are born thrice. The second, everything you wanted to know about orange peeling but were afraid to ask. And the third, Areo Sambar. Thank you, everyone. It was a pleasure joining you.
Thanks, Raju. I certainly resent the implication that I had sexual relations with oranges, but other than that, I think that was fairly truthful. So.
Thank you, Mr. Raju, for that. It was wonderful. It was very lighthearted and very interesting. Up on next, we have, can I request Sheshan Ram Mohan to say a few words, please?
Hi, Professor Nag.
Hi, Sheshan.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming today to celebrate Professor Nag's, retirement send-off, whatever it is. But I don't think he's going to go away anywhere, and we're not going to let him go away anywhere. I will keep tabs on him through Usha, so that way, and his son and daughter in the US at Purdue, so I'm sure he'll be here. He's been bugging me to try to find suitable matchmates for them, but so far I have not been able to deliver on the goods. So I apologize for that, Usha and Professor Nag, but I, along with Girish and Kamal and all the other IIT Madras Foundation, as well as all the alumni like Malik. So you not only helped us create the IIT Madras Alumni Association in the US, which has been thriving since 1986, right? Or 82, was it? 86, anyway, I don't know.
1980.
80, okay, yeah. Then starting in Houston and, throughout the rest of the country then. And then more importantly, after many, many years of conversations, and only after Professor Bhaskar became the director, and you had already been alumni faculty in charge of alumni affairs after Satya Kaladanidhi, and then you became the dean, then you and I and Srikanth and others started working on this, and with Bob Wood's help, who, by the way, I invited to come here. I don't know if he is participating, but it would have been, if it wasn't for you, I can tell you that, if it wasn't for you, we would never have got this thing off the ground, both on campus and more importantly in the US. And thank you for doing this, because I think it has changed the lives of the way the alumni view their institution, engage with the institution, engage with the faculty, give money to the institution, and like you said, your favorite words, time, talent, and treasure. Yeah. All of those things. And by the way, they all ring very, very true. And it has been the axiom that we have used with cultivating alumni engagement for the long term for the Institute. And literally, it's a step-by-step process. And thanks to you, your energy, your support, being an alumnus, thank you very much for helping us make this possible on behalf of the Institute, for the Institute. Thank you very much. And thanks for all your service.
Yep. Thanks, Sheshan.
Thank you, Sheshan. That was lovely. I'm gonna now request Girish Mukai to please say a few words.
Thank you, Nishani. Professor Nag.
Hey, hi,
it has
Girish.
been, absolute pleasure. As Sheshan mentioned, I started interacting with Nag when I joined IITM Foundation primarily, so a couple of things. One is, Nag knows both India and US like the back of his hand, or like a topping in his pizza in New Haven, which makes it amazing. When he engages with alumni, he actually can speak, understand them well, their needs, their giving, their interests and all that, both sides. So it actually was, what I noticed was he could resonate, alumni could resonate with him extremely well on both sides, right? So when reunions and all that came about, where you have alumni from both sides, US and India, Nag could just, go through that and build momentum and get the team motivated so well. And also, one thing I noticed is no one ever says no to him, any alumni. It's incredible. With the name Nag, he doesn't even have to nag anybody during that time. It is just amazing. And the other thing is, working with him at that time, his word is better than any rock solid contract and agreement ever that can be done, right? When he says something and he means it, he sticks to it, he lives with it. It's just amazing. As when we started the foundation and getting the early part of all the aspects figured out, it was so good to have an ally who, whose word we could just count. It's not that everything gets converted into an agreement day one. We were all figuring things out. But when you say something, we know that we can count on it. We didn't have to worry about that part, which I thought was amazing. And also being able to build something from scratch, and then building it into a sustainable organization with the right people, and bringing that interest, bringing that momentum, bringing that delivery out on campus, getting everybody on board. Nothing like it. Kudos to you. It's a non-trivial task. It is absolutely amazing. And again, I know your best times are still ahead of you. You're going to be doing a lot. We look forward to continuing, your amazing contribution to not only IIT Madras, but not only to the alumni, but also to the world at large. You're a class act. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Girish.
Thank you, Girish. Thank you so much. Next up, we have Naren Nayak going to say a few words. Rakesh, kindly allow Naren to share screen, please.
Also, while he's coming up, Nishani,
yes,
one request: the lots of very good messages that are there. So, hopefully after this call, you have some way of sharing all
we
those
also have
messages.
some other messages for him coming up. We sent out a form, so lots of messages.
Right. So if you can just share all this,
yeah, sure.
If you can share all this with
that would be nice. I would appreciate it.
It's not recorded. Just make sure you download it or something before we. Yeah.
Hi, Naren.
Hi, Nag. Very nice to see you virtually. The last time we met was when I was in India last year and met you at the Heritage Center.
Right.
Let me start with that. When I was, we got degrees in the same year, although not the same degree. And it's nothing to do with the coffee that they talk about when they say degrees. I got my master's, you got your bachelor's, but I did not know you much at the time that we were overlapping the institute, but it was a pleasure to meet you later on when you visited the Bay Area and did so much here for alumni events. But when I met you at the Heritage Center, the Heritage Center is such a beautiful place. I make it a point to visit there every time I go. I mean, it's the same pictures, maybe there's always something new. But on behalf of all the alumni, I think it's a real gift that you have created for the present and for the future. And the younger alumni they may not visit it a whole lot now, but the memories are there for them to experience. So heartfelt thanks for that. And it was great meeting you when you came to the Bay Area, when you visited with Bhaskar back in 2018. And I have a picture of that I wanted to share with the group, if I may. So this is, if people can see my screen, this is an image when Director Bhaskar and Professor Nag and Vijay Ullal, we took this at the Mexican restaurant called Pedro's when we had a dinner preceding the summit that was held in 2018 September. And thank you very much for, again, everything that you've done. And I know that you will continue to do this for us and for the alumni and for the world at large.
Yeah, thanks.
Best wishes.
Thanks, Naren. By the way, just quick word. We just inaugurated the IIT Madras archive last Friday when we had the convocation. The chief guest, Nobel laureate, actually came and inaugurated it. So next time you're on campus, make sure you stop by the archive also.
Where is it?
It's in the what used to be called the New Academic Complex 1. Now it's called the Krishna Chivkula block. It's in the stilt floor of that building.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Naren. I'm going to just share my screen with some comments that we received for you, Professor. Just give me a second. We had some comments from Thiru. I see Thiru on this call. He has a huge appreciation for the work you did in bringing the alumni engagement to IIT Madras, and a salute for the great individual and professional you are. Much enjoyed working with you, Professor. We have quite a bit of comments.
Jayapriya.
Yes, from Jayapriya. She was also the vice president for our last term. We have Deepak from the batch of 2005. I'm guessing he's a student. Says you're one of the coolest professors I've ever known. Loved his simplicity and calmness. So that's
Yeah,
that.
it's nice to hear something about my teaching.
We actually have quite a few. I'll share the form with responses with you after this call tomorrow early morning.
Sure.
Some more as well. Tushar Dutt says, keep going, only in case of trouble, get in touch. See you in the holy place, Tirupati. Hope it doesn't get robbed. God bless.
Oh yeah, Raghavan. Sure. Thank you.
Yeah, these are some few. We'll go back to our session. Our next call, I would like to next call on the batchmates of Professor Nag from the batch of 81. We have so many of you here today. Is Shankar here? Shankar, I invite you to say a few words. I think Shankar is not there. Can we have Suresh to say a few words?
I think he's on mute.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can.
Okay. Hello, Professor Nag.
Hi. Hi, Suresh. How are you?
Good. First, I'd like to congratulate you on your successful career with many accomplishments.
Thank you.
And thank you for your service to keep the alumni connected with the Institute over the many years. And also in recent years for your contribution to the Heritage Center activities. In recent years, I had occasion to interact with you quite a bit. First, in connection with bringing out the memoir, which the class of 1978 produced after our 40th reunion. It was a rush job, but we were able to successfully bring it out in time to release it on the occasion of the Institute's Diamond Jubilee celebrations. And that was quite satisfying and much appreciated. And also recently, also helped us to place this memoir in the IITMAA shop. Help from Nishani as well to try and circulate it among the people of interest. So thank you very much for that. And many conversations we had over things that we could be doing with the Institute among the alumni over the years. I'm not sure if you already mentioned, but I'm curious to know what your future plans are. In any case, I wish you all the best in all your endeavors. And I do hope you'll continue to maintain some presence at the Institute.
Sure. Thank you, Suresh.
Thank you. Thank you, Suresh. I now call Sudarshan from the Toronto chapter to say a few words. Over to you, Sudarshan.
Hi, Sudarshan.
Hi, Professor. Yeah, thanks, Nishani, for the opportunity. Is everybody able to hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so yeah, I've known Professor Nag for about 10 years. Yeah, exactly.
Sudarshan, we are losing you.
Back in 2014, I was extramural lecture series, and Professor Nag. Sorry, you're not able to hear me?
I think now it's okay. You were gone for a while.
Okay, sorry about that. So I've known Professor Nag for about 10 years now, from my time as a student. At that time, I was running the extramural lecture series, and Professor Nag's office was running the leadership lecture series. So we've collaborated on quite a few lectures that year. One thing about Professor Nag is that he is extremely positive and supportive of, he was extremely positive and supportive of whatever we did. Like one of the most outlandish ideas we came up with was for the 2015 Republic Day, President Barack Obama was India's chief guest. And suddenly we noticed that the previous time Obama was in India, he went to, I think, St. Stephen's College or somewhere to address the students. So we came up with this ridiculous, outlandish idea of inviting President Obama to IIT Madras. And there were only two people in IIT Madras who were supportive of this idea. One was Professor Nag. Even Professor Bhaskar wasn't very supportive. He dismissed the idea initially when I brought it up with him, but it was Professor Nag who was very supportive. So in fact, when I wrote to the White House, and then I went and met Professor Nag, and I asked him, can we get some of our alumni to he very readily wrote to Subraj and Guru Raj Deshpande asking them to second this idea. And Deshpande did support it. So there was an invite to President Obama from IIT Madras asking him to visit and address our students. And even Mr. Deshpande seconded the invite. There was one other person, one of our alumni who was the first IT secretary of Tamil Nadu. So his batchmate was in the PMO, and I had asked his help as well. He immediately dismissed this. He wrote back saying, why on earth are you even trying this? Do you think the POTUS is jobless enough to come and address IIT Madras students or something like that? He was pretty harsh in what he said. But immediately Professor Nag wrote back saying, Prakash, I think this is not a bad idea. We could have made this happen if we had enough time. It's probably too late. So, I mean, he was, no matter how ridiculous our ideas were, he was 100% supportive of that. And he was, in fact, even more supportive than the Dean of Students then, under whose umbrella the extramural lecture series came. So, very fond memories of you, Professor Nag, and thank you for all the support that you had given to the students and you will be giving to the campus community and the alumni going forward. All the best for your for the next phase of your career.
Thanks, Sudarshan. Keep the IIT Madras flag flying in Canada.
Thank you, Professor Shah.
Thank you, Sudarshan. I'm going to now call Joe Thomas to please say a few words.
Hi, Prof.
Hi, Joe.
Well, Professor and I intersected in the hostel without knowing each other. Both were in Ganga hostel. He was a 1-year senior to me. We never met at that time or interacted. But by 2011, he literally saved my life. I was at a career dead end and there was a lot of problems and he helped. I'll never forget that moment in life. So aside from that, unfortunately, Shankar has not joined us, but I can tell you very honestly that a lot of Nag's success in the Alumni and Corporate Relations Office was because Shankar, who was actually a mechanical engineering student living in Godavari Hostel and same batch 1981, always responded very happily to any request that Nagarajan made to him. So, though Shankar is not here, I would like to thank him for his contribution to Nagarajan's success. And Kamal, known as Dugirala now, was also a member in Godavari Hostel I used to interact with. And his support, I think, has also been something special. I don't have anything else to say. I wish you the best of luck, Professor Nagarajan. And I hope that I can find a way to interact with you later on in your career.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Joe. Keep those chips coming from Kerala.
We'll do it, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Joe. The last on the agenda, but not the least, is Mrs. Usha. I'd please like to for you to say a few words on the lighter side, since we've heard so much about Professor Nag on his academic.
Nishani, can you hear me good? Is it possible to have a couple of minutes?
Oh, hi.
Before Miss.
Yeah. Hi, Dana. How are you?
You're very fine, very fine. Thank you so much. And I'm so happy to see you here. And I just don't want to miss this opportunity to speak here. I'm sorry, maybe my video is not on. And
Hi, now you're on.
yeah.
So nice to see you. She
And,
was one of my early PhD students.
yes, I just want to mention about his and I was the first few. I think I'm your first MTech student, me and my Padmaja, and we are considered to be the luckiest student of our batch because we are Professor Nag students, and of course we are really, and because the way he supports his students and the way he gives us motivation is amazing. It keeps us running us so far, and I also was so lucky to have him as my PhD mentor too, and. Still he continues to support me, and I have seen him in US and in whenever I visit India. My Indian visit doesn't go without visiting Professor Nag, and that's how it is because we love to see him. Every moment we get a chance, we wanted to see him, and such an amazing family with the Usha ma'am and his kids, and I can say that like I might have never completed my doctorate without his support, with the family and the emotional support he gave us, and with the academic support he gave us was amazing. And thank you so much, sir. And it's my pleasure, and it's my gratitude to you. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Dana. Nice to see you. By the way, I see a couple of people from my batch. I don't know. I think Narendra Srivatsa was probably closer to me than anyone else in my batch. Srivatsa, you want to say anything? Otherwise, I'm going to reveal your nickname to everybody.
There you go.
There he is.
Yeah. I guess, well, yes, I mean, Nagarajan, I mean, you and I are very close, and I don't believe that if we were to rewrite our careers, we would ever have spelled it out the way that our paths went, okay? Especially yours. I mean, you were doing somewhat of a sales role in promoting the IIT Madras institution, okay?
Right.
And I remember the early conversations and the grand plans for how much funds you wanted to raise and all of that. And I'm sure you or I, if you were chatting in the common room or while playing ping pong, we would never have put that into perspective.
And I was beating you when I was beating you, right? In ping pong.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. And also running through the whole thing. So it is great that your path has moved so well. Okay. And of course you have not answered the question as to what your future holds, but I'm sure you're going to be writing more and more books, is my guess. Okay. And as to what else, I don't know. Are you planning to move to the US or
maybe I'll keep my remarks to the end. I think maybe that's what Nishani is planning. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and I see that Usha is going to be speaking shortly too, and that'll be great to hear her point of view. This whole thing. Yep. And without taking up the time and space, let me pass this on to the next person.
Thanks. Narendra.
And
I just want to say a few words. Congratulations, Nagarajan, for all the great work you have done.
Thank you.
And the illustrious career, and it's been great knowing you and Usha. And particular thanks for all the help you did for my daughter Vidya when she was at IIT.
And fighting off the monkeys.
All the stuff. So thank you so much, and looking forward to seeing you here soon, the Bay Area, and wish you all the very best. You've done a wonderful job, and looking forward to reconnecting with you again in the Bay Area.
Yeah, thanks, Mr.
If you don't mind, Bob Woods apparently is online, and he was really heavily responsible for much of the fundraising that we did. So I'm sure we'd like to hear something from Bob Woods.
Yes. Nishani, would you please call on Bob Woods to speak?
Please, I request Bob Woods to please come forward and say a few words.
Or maybe he just wants to listen. I don't know.
No.
He
I
has
saw
posted.
him, but I think
he has posted here.
Oh, okay.
In case Bob
He's
Woods is
posted,
there
but
and he wants to speak, let him speak.
No, he's not on the call. He's left the call. I don't see him.
But he has posted saying it was wonderful to work with you on IITMF, and you and your family were wonderful hosts during our visit. I hope you have a fascinating future.
Yeah, please thank him for me for his kind words.
I will do that. I invited him. So
sure.
Thank you, everybody. I now want to request before we hear Professor Nag, I'd like to call Mrs. Usha to please say a few words.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for putting this wonderful event together. And it really felt like it was a family event. So thanks from the bottom of our heart, everyone, for joining. And special thanks to Nishani, Papi, and Shamla for putting this together. Nice to see somebody else roast Nagarajan. I think I keep doing this every day, all by myself. So nice to see you all talk about us. So I know it's getting late. So thanks to every one of you for joining. It was a fun evening with all of you. So thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you, Mrs. Usha. Professor Nag, everyone is waiting to hear from you what your plans are, what your future is, what you want to spend time on. Please take this opportunity to address the alumni. It's also on YouTube, which is going to be there for everyone to look at. So I hope you take this opportunity to address our global alumni members.
Okay, sure. Thank you. Thanks, everyone, for joining today. I would have loved to have heard from everyone on the call. I think I don't know, maybe there are 100 or so, but I realize there is a time constraint, and hopefully the ones who couldn't get to speak today or who didn't want to speak today, please contact me. I think you know my email ID and my mobile number. So anytime. And as you know, I'm pretty prompt at replying to emails, and maybe less so with WhatsApp, still getting used to it, but emails are my forte. But you're welcome to contact me by any means, and I will make sure I respond. So it's been great. I had no idea that, back in 2000 that I will be joining IIT Madras. I had a well-settled life with IBM in San Jose, and we really hadn't even given much thought to going back to India, but then family circumstances, and we did decide to go back. And once we decided that, I figured the only place I wanted to work at was at IIT Madras. And I was lucky enough to be selected as a professor back in 2004. So I've been here now for 20 years, which actually for an academic career is fairly truncated. So I'm kind of happy with what I was able to achieve both on the academic front as well. But at least since 2009, till a couple of years ago, I had my hands full with various administrative roles. I did enjoy them all. And it looks like I was able to help many people. And that makes me happy. I've always kind of thought of myself as an enabler or a facilitator. And really, that's what I think I spend most of my time doing. Somebody walks in, always kept an open door, and anybody could walk in anytime. And I think one thing I was good at, apparently, was just listening, because a lot of the alumni who stopped by just wanted somebody to talk to. They all had great ideas. And, one thing about being surrounded by so many talented people is that I didn't have to do all the ideation myself. It was just a matter of listening to people. And there were very few bad ideas. A lot of people say I never said no to anything, but that's because people around me made the decision easy for me. The easiest decision was to say yes, because they were all very worthwhile ideas, which I knew could propel the institute forward. So I think I was always been fortunate in my life's journey. It came to IIT Madras, then went to Yale, then to IBM, then back to IIT Madras. So, all top class organizations, and made my job very easy in whatever I was doing. But the work I started doing with alumni, and by the way, Usha kind of predated me in this. As many of you know, she was managing the IIT Madras Alumni Association for about 3 years before I took on the role of faculty in charge of Office of Alumni Affairs, as it was back in 2009. And I think she kind of pulled me into the alumni circle. And of course, so did Santanam, who was the event chair for the Pan IIT 2008 meet. And he pulled me in further. And then my predecessor, Professor Satya, kind of just nominated me to Professor Anand, and Anand said, fine. So that's how I got to be in charge of the Office of Alumni Affairs. And and things have been kind of went their own way afterwards. One thing I should confess, I do like to write, and I used to write quite a lot before I took on my administrative roles. And I remember one piece that I wrote about alumni, which, well, basically I used to write columns for Suleka, and this was a column, I think, on alumni associations. And I said alumni who are active in alumni affairs could be classified into two types: those who have a reversion to childhood, and those who have an aversion to adulthood. And I mean, I like to think that I fit into both categories. But now that that phase of my life is over and I'm retired about almost a month now, I mean, everybody asks me what my plans are. And I think the whole thing about retirement is you don't need to make any plans. Just take each day as it comes along. And so, a lot of people have approached me about doing various things for their university or industry and so on. And so I would like to try and help as many institutions as I can. I mean, looking back at my career, I think apart from the academics and the research and so on, alumni affairs, fundraising, the global relations, strategic planning, industry engagement, setting up innovation centers, of course, setting up the Heritage Center and the archive. I would say these are some of the highlights of my career here. And to some extent, I think IIT Madras now has a very robust infrastructure in all these aspects. I think Mahesh obviously has done a great job carrying the alumni relations forward, and now Ashwin is going to be taking over pretty soon. And similarly, global engagement is in the safe hands of Raghu Rangasamy and so on. So, but if there are other institutions that are lagging and that would like to beef up in these aspects, I'm certainly happy to work with them to do that. I do want to spend time writing. It's something that, they say that there is one book in everyone. Maybe I want to see if that's true. I've written short stories, which were quite successful, but I've never written a long novel. And I would like to see if I'm really capable of it and, how good it'll be. So I may work on that. But I think we're going to be spending a lot of time back and forth in India and the US. Both our kids are in the US and likely to settle down there. So I can certainly envision us spending, I don't know, half our time in India and half our time in the US. So that's going to give us an opportunity, hopefully, to keep interacting with all of you in both places. So I do look forward to that. And, wherever we go in the US, I know there are plenty of friends that we can count on to, entertain us. And similarly in India, lots of things to look forward to. I don't want to make too many firm plans at this time. I want to leave things as flexible as possible and maybe not take one day at a time, but at least take 1 week at a time. And the thing I look forward to the most during my retirement, I think, is my post-lunch nap. It's something I love to do, the 30 minutes of napping right after a meal. And that's something I haven't been able to do during my career. And although I guess if I had lived on campus, I might have been able to sneak home for the nap and then come back, but we never did. So haven't had that luxury so far. So I do look forward to doing that with some regularity in future. But apart from that, like I said, I don't have too many firm plans. If any of you have some ideas about things that I could be doing, feel free to contact me and let me know. And I may not always say yes now, but I will try my best to contribute wherever I can. Thank you again so much. It's been fantastic, and I think this may be the last farewell that I attend, unless somebody has got some surprise plan up their sleeve. But it's been the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor.
Most welcome, Nag.
And by the way, again, a big thanks to the Alumni Association, Nishani, Papia, Shamla, Krishnan, for putting this together, and the lovely flowers that you see behind me. They just arrived fresh this evening. And this T-shirt that I'm wearing also arrived fresh this evening. So really delighted with the gifts, and it feels great to be appreciated for what I've been able to do during my career, and look forward to doing more of the same in future. Thank you.
So thanks, Professor Nag. So in sign off, can I just sign off with a poem with all your favorite things in it?
Okay.
Of course, thanks to ChatGPT. In pizza's warmth, we taste our shared past, writing stories, alumni's bond steadfast. Heritage weaves through flavors and inks flow, a timeless legacy in each bite and word we grow.
Wow, very nice. Thank you, Krishnan.
Thanks, Professor. It's really wonderful, and it's a fortune we had a chance to work with you.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Professor Nag.
Yeah.
Thank you. This is Shamari. I'm just wondering, is your email address going to change, or is that something you care to share?
Yeah, I can put it in chat if you. By the way, that IIT email address will continue to work. It'll get forwarded to nog@faculty.iitm.ac.in. But I'll give you my personal one also. I'm just doing it in chat right now. It's rnog@gmail.com. And my mobile number is 9791141. 41987.
Then we have Akila who would like to say a few words.
Oh my God, Nishan, thank you so much. I didn't realize it's getting really late in India. I appreciate this. My name is Akila.
Hi, Akila. How are you? Long time.
The first thing I learned about Professor Nagarajan was that he had moved back to India to support his aging parents and to be closer to his family. He was my BTech thesis advisor. He was my faculty advisor. But the thing that resonated with me the most about Professor Nagarajan was all the things that make him special and human and relatable. And so I've always wanted to have a family. This is my daughter. She's 2 weeks old.
Oh, lovely.
My son is going to take care. And to me, Professor Nagarajan embodied this. You can do everything that you want. Like, you can manage a career, you can support your family, you can do this wonderful alumni affairs thing. And the thing about how he managed alumni affairs also was, obviously, your end goal is you want to raise a bunch of funds, you want to support the community, but you can't do that directly. You can't send an email to your alumni every 3 years and be like, hey, give me funds. You have to engage them and build a community. And he knew how to do that. Every time a student would come back to campus, he would find some way to meet them or to support them and to make them feel welcome. Thank you, Professor Nagarajan. You were a breath of fresh air in the university, and it was just amazing to work with you. I'm so fortunate. Thank you for everything that you've done.
Thanks, Akila. Lovely baby. And we had to pull you into the alumni network. So I'll ask the Alumni Association to take care of that.
I can take care of that. I know Akila.
Oh, okay.
Lovely. Thank you. Thank you. We can officially close the program. Thank you, Professor Nag, for spending this time with us. It's an honor to have this event for you. And although we didn't get to really work so much together, I didn't interact with you quite a bit in the last 2 years, and I've learned so much from you. I think Alumni Association is still looking forward to working along with you, engaging with you, and hoping that you can anchor some of our activities from now on. We have some ideas. We'll come to you with it soon. And so thank you, everybody, for joining, those who have been in touch with. Sorry that nobody got a chance to speak. We wanted to keep this event brief. All your comments will be sent to Professor Nag in a day or so, along with that Excel sheet as well. So thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Many more wishes.
Thank you. Thanks. Good
Thank
night.
you, sir. Many more wishes.
Good night, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are.
Thank you. And
thank you, sir. Many more wishes for your farewell.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd love that T-shirt when you can send it to all of us. Oh, it's nice.
It's really nice.
Yeah, some of us didn't get a chance to speak, but we put copious notes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nice. All the very best, Nagarajan.
In US with your family.
Sorry?
Thank you, sir. We'll see you and your family in US soon.
Yeah, we should do it. We should do it again. Vani will be in Chicago for at least a few more months. So we'll come to the Midwest, I think, sometime in the near future. We'll try to stop.
Oh, sure, sir. Anytime. You're always welcome,
Okay.
sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye. Thank you, sir.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
Professor Nag.
Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. I guess I'll try to be the last one to leave. So just watching the countdown.
I forgot to mention, Professor, we had Mr. TTJ himself on the call.
I saw his name, yes.
I know. I was going to call out to him, but I think he suddenly left.
Sure. Yeah, I hope he's still in good health.
I've heard his health is deteriorating a bit, but he seemed to have come on call, which is a good thing. Maybe you could just
Yeah.
send an
I think I
email.
saw Sujata Srinivasan also.
Yes, she did, and she left a message for you as well.
Okay.
She said, Nag, as dean, you did the job that now takes 2 people to do so well, and you made it look so easy. Thank you for your contributions and for your kindness to all the faculty and students. I don't think you ever said no to any request. You're truly a class act and role model.
Wow. Okay. He's one of the first faculty I actually took to a prospective donor, TTJ. It seemed to work so well that that kind of became a standard practice afterwards.
Yeah. We have Ilavarsi. Ilavarsi, do you want to say a few words?
Professor, thank you so much. You are my mentor. Happy to see you, Professor. Always I will take you as a role model for me. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm happy to work with you for 15 years. Thank you so much, Professor.
Yeah, thanks, Ilavarsi. Actually, I'm hoping that, we do this Navaratri Kolu every year. I'm hoping I can invite a lot of you and get to meet you again during that time.
Sure, sir.
Try to remember to do that.
Yes, so I think it's only our team left. There's a little few other people.
Well, I think Sailesh just came, I think, from my batch. Climate Healers, I think, is Sailesh. Is in the waiting room, but a little late.
Hi, Sailesh, is that you?
I know Climate Healers is his organization.
Yes, on mute.
Okay, great. Shall I leave then?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
Gururaj.
Professor.
Thank you.
Bye.
Rani, Maha.
Thank you.
Hi,
Thank you.
Maha.
Thank
Hi,
you
Maha.
so much.
Hi, hi.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you. Have a good night. It
Good
was a
night.
very special night. Special thanks to all of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right, good night.
Thank you,
Bye.
Professor. Thank you.
Bye, bye. Sailesh says he's not able to unmute, so.
Sailesh.
No, he is unmuted, so he can speak right now.
Just, hi, Nagi.
Hey. Hi, Sailesh.
Sorry, I got in late because I didn't know there was a Zoom link.
Oh, yes. Hi. How are you?
Very good. How are you?
Good, good.
So you got roasted and toasted already?
Yeah, I guess not too much of the roasting part, though. I was kind of disappointed, but.
Oh, really?
I want to feel like Justin Bieber or somebody,
Yeah.
There is a YouTube link where you can catch him.
Okay.
See the session. Yeah. It was interesting, I think. We got a lot of different perspectives. We had his family join us, and yeah, it was interesting.
Quite a few from our batch, so it was nice.
Wonderful. Good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Enjoy your time.
All right. Yeah. Give me a call if you're back in Chennai sometime.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll meet in the Bay Area sometime also.
Sounds good.
All right. Thanks,
Okay,
Sailesh.
man.
Yeah. Bye. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye, everyone. We're switching off the video now. It's all.
Thank you.
Thank you.